is Dr. Rick Sigil.
And action. Hey, Jane had a... This is Kirk And action. Hey everyone, it's Dr. Rick. And Renata had a question on exercise as far as how to begin an exercise routine. Renata, like a lot of other patients I have, does do some walking. I have some patients that are like 10,000 to 15,000 steps in a day, and I think that's cool. But if this is the first time you're finding me, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and the alert button to find out when I do new videos. So 15 minutes, 3 days a week. It should be intense. I mean, that's all I have time for. I work 50 plus hours a week, and I have a son I have to take care of. I have a wife I want to be with. But that, in addition to my own training, I only can afford a little bit of exercise. In that window of 15 minutes, it doesn't sound like much. I'd love to do an hour, but I just don't have time. So it actually takes me 20 minutes to get to the gym, and 15 minutes to, it doesn't sound like it, but it's better than nothing. So those of you who don't exercise because you don't have enough time, hey, I mean, it's better than nothing. And I can't do this at home because it's just not too inspiring. I always come up with an excuse not to do it at home, so that's why I paid for Planet Fitness. But I also try, like on the weekend, to get 60 minutes of something intense. So hopefully that'll work for you. However, you don't want to hurt yourself, and if you don't know what to do with exercise, sometimes we can get you to physical therapy, and maybe they can teach you once you take care of your illness or your injury or your weak part. So if you have a neck issue, trigger point, low back pain, elbow discomfort, knee pain, problems with ankles, your balance is off, or even if you have a pelvic issue, sometimes I can get you into physical therapy if it's covered by insurance, and that'll be at least taking care of a weak region. And then if the physical therapist is gifted enough, they can, before discharging you, they can design an exercise routine in the gym or suggestions. Now, if you can't afford physical therapy, you don't have any injuries that would qualify for it, all right, and you don't have an experience of what to do within 15 minutes, then watch my videos. I'm going to show you what I would do at the gym, and I do more than that at the gym, but you can do everything I suggest at your house too, except for the pull-ups, but check it out. So as far as the 4 exercises, the ab workout, meaning the core workout, I think anybody can do. You don't have to go to the extreme of using a weight, but at least if you don't have any back pain, try one of the progressive exercises for the core. As far as squats, you don't have to go again to, you can do wall slides like I showed you, but if you wanted to do that one pose, it's called chair pose, with weight, that'd be cool. It's usually an up and down maneuver that helps strengthen the quads, hamstrings, the glutes, and sometimes you can end up on your toes, and that'll work the calf muscles too. These are just very basic exercises and meant for beginners to launch after you've proven yourself, launch into more. The push-ups, again, incline push-ups versus incline low versus flat versus weighted versus upside down. That's just progression. If you can get to the upside down part, you don't have to do the weight part. If you have a kid at home, you can have that person ride your back. If you have a dog that's big enough, that too can ride your back. It's hard to, or you can get a backpack, but it's hard to maneuver that weight. I just wanted to show you resistance. The fourth one, though, well, I just talked about the 3. The 3 I just mentioned. If you do 5 minutes of something pretty intense, back to back to back, like you do a push-up, and then you go straight into a core, and then you go into a squat, then you go into a push-up. 5 minutes of each of those will give you 15 minutes, you're done. So if you think that's a little boring and you want to also, because I talked about legs for the squat, abs for the sit-up kind of routine, and then pecs and tries for the push-ups. If you wanted to also include back and biceps, you can do pull-ups like I showed you in the video, but some of you can't do a pull-up, or you don't have a pull-up at home, pull-up bar at home. I found like 3 of them at Goodwill, because everybody always gives up on those things. I gave 1 away. I've got 2, 1 at the house and 1 here in the office. I had to get little extensions. I'll put a link to a previous pull-up video. You can see my cheapie. But if you can't do that, you can sometimes make a broomstick. If you wanted to get, again, back work, that's lats here, and bicep work, you can do that. If it's too much, if you do have a pull-up bar, it's too much, get a chair underneath there, get up on the pull-up bar, hold on top of the chair, and then pick your feet up, and then just negatively go down slowly, put your feet back on, pull up, and then negatively go down slowly. So the idea is that you get a boost, like somebody's carrying you, to the fullest expression of lat work, or latissimus dorsi work, and then you slowly do a negative, where you just hang all the way down to full extension. That'll work your muscles until you're good enough to pull up on your own. So that's called a negative. It's tough if you're not used to it, and a lot of people aren't used to pull-ups. But it's an exercise you can throw into your home exercises. And if you do want to do all 4 of those things, that would be 3 minutes and 3 minutes and 45 seconds each. So 3 minutes and 45 seconds would give you about 15 minutes. So that's not much to ask if you think about it. And you can do the pull-up, the core work or sit-up, the push-up, and then the squat, and then go back to the pull-up and go back and forth. So if you keep on doing that, you're done in 15 minutes. You might not develop any muscle pump with that. You might not get short of breath, but it's a beginning. Again, when you get a little more interested, then you hire somebody or join a gym or get a personal trainer, or God forbid, you have an injury, you have to get to physical therapy. So if you are content, you don't want to do that, fine. But if you're content with just walking, it's not enough. I think there are some studies that show walking is okay, 10,000 steps. You know how they came up with 10,000 steps though? A Japanese company came up with the pedometer, one of the first ones, mass marketed it, and all they did was just have a designated random number of 10,000 because it was easy to remember. And that's how everybody knows 10,000 steps a day. But honestly, if you're doing 10,000 steps a day and it's in the stress of work, that doesn't count. Exercise has to be loving and cool and fun. It has to be outside of work, if you ask me. I have big construction workers or road work guys that are huge, and that's not exercise. As big as they are and as much exercise walking as they get, it's not exercise. The heart and the brain need exercise outside of work. So I always say your steps per day and the activity you do, even if you're a UPS truck unloader, that doesn't count. you need exercise outside of work to calm. And if you think you get enough activity at work, then I want you to do 15 minutes in a forest preserve, just walking, because that'll be offsetting the stress of work. I did do an article about 120 minutes a week of being in nature. I think that also helps. It'll balance out life. It'll give you nature therapy, and it'll also give you a little bit of calm walking instead of work walking. So hopefully this gives you a little idea. So good question. I think that we always want to get to the point of 15 minutes of hell, but not just yet. Begin slowly, watch for injury, learn, and maybe consider physical therapy and move forward. So.